Hello, YouTube. Um, the MBTI personality test, if you're familiar with it, you know it's a completely non-judgmental test. It just describes differences without thinking about whether the differences are good or what. Um, it spends a little bit of time, but not much, thinking about um, what the different personality types are good at. And I thought about that recently, and I thought I'd make a video about it. Um, I've written an essay on it, which I'm going to start reading, and it starts with introverted feeling versus extroverted feeling, and then introverted thinking versus extroverted thinking, and then it talks about sensing and intuition. So I'll start with the feeling now. It would be an absurdity to claim that individual people do not have opinions on questions of value and morality. The only way I can imagine that someone would deny that this is true would be as if they also deny that their senses were able in some fashion to perceive an objective external reality. Because if you use your senses, you'll hear people professing moral opinions, and they behave as if they hold these opinions. So I think everyone, or nearly everyone on the whole earth, can agree that introverted feeling is a thing. People have individual opinions on subjects of morality and related subjects. I have as of yet, however, never seen any convincing evidence that values have any significance outside of the heart of a person who believes in them. Anyone claiming to believe in an objective morality, I think, unless they claim that they've received a revelation from God, they would have to admit that their ideas of objective morality originate in the heart of or mind of a person who thought of it. So in this sense, the idea of an objective feeling, or what is called extroverted feeling in the MBTI, is fiction. It's not a true thought of its own. Individual hearts are the originators of all feeling, so any idea of objective feeling that like everyone is supposed to share has to be derived in some way from someone's personal opinion. And I think this means that some impulse to conformity is inherent in ideas of objective feeling. Since it can't be derived on its own without referencing someone's personal opinion, the only way that objective feeling can exist is if people conform. So although I don't think extroverted feeling is a genuine area of thought in its own right, since it's derived, I think it's not surprising that people have this kind of thought, because I think it's actually the cognitive function that individually is most important for survival. Other humans are generally more dangerous than the environment, and in a conflict situation, being in a majority typically gives you an advantage. So I view conformity, and therefore extroverted feeling, as being useful but not honest. And changing subjects now, I believe the issue on the correctness of thought is more complicated than the issue of correctness of feeling. While it's true that all of our thoughts, like feelings, originate in our own minds, it's also true that our thoughts are generally about an external reality which seems to exist independently of people. And that's something that can't be said of feeling. If we believe that our thinking mind exists in order to try to understand an objective external reality, then I think you'd have to conclude that if our thinking were perfect, it would be extroverted thinking and not introverted thinking. But we have no direct access to the true nature of reality. Our senses correlate to the external reality in an imperfect way. We can't just see, like water, for instance, and know that it's made of H2O molecules. It took a lot of effort to find that out. And our thinking is also imperfect. And so in that sense, I understand that it's required that we form internal models of our own mind that we hope correspond well to the external reality, but never perfectly do. So I think introverted thinking is necessary insofar as our thinking is imperfect, and that any good extroverted thinking depends implicitly on an internal model of reality that would require at least some kind of synthetic introverted thinking to build. And with regards to the usefulness or effectiveness of each type of thought, so far as I can tell, the scientific method is based on an INTJ's view of the world, and INTJs use extroverted thinking. And modern technology is a testament to the correctness of this kind of thought. However, it seems to me that INTPs, who are the kings of introverted thinking, they dominate the fields of purely abstract mathematics and of programming. And I suppose the reason is in artificial worlds like what you create when you write a program or come up with abstract math, referencing an external reality is vain or pointless because you can invent whichever rules suit you best. So that's my perception on that matter. And even in science, INTPs like Einstein have from time to time come up with counterintuitive and absurd ideas, which are nonetheless true when the INTJs have gotten stuck. So I think they're both valuable in their own way. And I don't believe either intuition or sensing are superior to one another. My view of the world is that it obeys rational laws, so that the material world can be thought of as particular manifestations of these laws. So I see abstract ideas as being closer to the true essence of reality, but at least for an extroverted thinker like me, these laws would be of no significance if they didn't manifest themselves somehow. And those are all of my thoughts about the correctness and correct applicability of different cognitive functions. In summary, I suppose I could say extroverted feeling is derived from introverted feeling, and it depends on conformity, but that's useful in social situations. And but true, genuine feeling has to be inherently introverted, since all of your feelings, the human mind or heart is the source of all feeling, so introverted feeling is more genuine than extroverted feeling. And while I think if our thinking were perfect, it would be extroverted thinking, insofar as it's not perfect and can be improved upon, introverted thinking is necessary. And that'll be the end of the video.